whether torn or what, just take a hold. They will sleep, just put it there. They will just sleep. And I was happy the commissioner noted that one. I therefore want to congratulate our colleagues for having gone through the vigorous training. The journey has just begun for assessment. You saw how difficult it was. I can tell you, training as an assessor, it's like going back to study from senior and senior 4. The trainers from DIT, you see them smiling, but when it comes to training, they have no mercy. Assessors, the system is so tough that whoever goes through the assessment system really has got, his quality. I am assured of that. I want to thank Enable strongly. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to clap for Enable for the great job. They have made these things work. As the Sector Securities Council, we are proud that we are now the most shining council among the 5 because Enable has been with us. But also, if it wasn't the Minister of Tourism, we wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have known. I remember Madam Kobutaj calling me, sitting together. We want to have these people in this council and make sure that we look for the people who are the right ones. We looked for every association. The Sector Securities Council of Tourism is the representative of all trade associations. So it's not like you appoint someone the way you want. Actually, I fought hard. I wanted to bring technical people, but she said, no, that does not work. We want trade associations who are the backbone of the employers to come and be members. And it worked very well. I thank you if I became so bad, but it was because I thought I would do it my way. I want to thank UTB. UTB, thank you very much. UTB is the center of confusion of the private sector. Everybody who cries goes to UTB. Whoever has driven a car for one day, they go to UTB. When we say we want to steal people, they all go to UTB. And to quality assurance manager. People want to get certificates for free. Because we started announcing it as licensing, I have received over 30 calls. They want me to give them certificates because they think Sector Securities Council gives certificates. We don't give certificates. We only make sure the system works. DIT, thank you very much for being there for us. We've made them go through the difficult time of doing things in a very short time, which would have been done like for a month, but we squeezed them. And we said, look, this is our country. We must develop it. Thank you very, very much. Finally, I want to thank everybody who is here, who has come to be with us on this very day. I submit.
Thank you very much, Mr. Herbert Biarahanga, for pledging to be the bridge between the employers and the training institutions. And I think that has been a major challenge that has been dodging us in this sector. Now that we have a solution from the Skills Council, we hope this will be sorted once and for all. Allow me to invite Mr. Douglas Opio to give us his remarks as the chairperson of the TVET Policy Implementation Working Group. Mr. Douglas.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to say all protocols observed. My name, Douglas Opio. I'm the Executive Director of Federation of Uganda Employers. But I also double as the TVET Policy Implementation Working Group co-chair. I'm extremely delighted to be with you today for one particular reason. Each meeting that we go to, we are always talking about how we make good policies which we never implement. This particular event is moving us from policy into action, isn't it? What a wonderful change of the narrative. That we are not just talking about good policies that never get implemented. Now we are talking about good policies that actually get implemented. Yeah, you can clap, no problem at all. It's okay to clap. So a special thanks, my special thanks to Enable and the rest of the partners who worked to see this happening. It's a real joy for me because you can imagine the chair was talking about we have less than 20 so far, but he's anticipating that we could need as many as 200. What does that imply? First, from an employer's point, jobs will be created. Opportunities will be created. Because the better our guides, the more the experience of a better the experience of a tourist. The better the experience of a tourist, the more tourists we will receive. The more tourists we receive, the more money, and we are all happy. Isn't it? So this is an extremely good initiative. Secondly, we all know the importance of tourism and hospitality to our national development. Actually, tourism and hospitality is one of the 5 key fundamental sectors that we have chosen to take us into the future, isn't it? To Vision 2040. And incrementally, we are working through the NDPs now on NDP 3. So this is an extremely valuable initiative. But I also like your slogan here, the Sector Skills Council. You're saying you're shining, but when an employer is reading this, I think any single employer, Jean sitting across here, must be extremely happy. Because that's what employers have always complained about, that we having people trained, but they don't meet our needs. They're not up to the standards that we expect. So like Jen rightly pointed out, we then spend a lot of time training others. But all of us here work somewhere. You know how frustrating it is to instruct and then do somebody's work. You want to give instruction and then people do their work. I mean, you also have your own work to do. So high quality training is extremely important. Very important as well, this is also within the broader context of the BITVET strategic plan. I think it's a good way to arrive in 2021 because we are coming towards the end of the BITVET strategic plan. I hope all of us are aware that we have one, which articulates the change that we want to see in the TVET sector. But for a long time, we hadn't done much. This brings us closer, but also gives us the assurance that it's actually possible, isn't it? It's possible to have highly skilled people here, to have highly trained people here, who can then make the sector function a lot better. As I conclude, I just want to say this is just the beginning. It will take a lot more partnership, a lot more commitment to move us to where we want to be. We haven't arrived yet. We are just starting our journey. But nevertheless, we are starting it, I think, on a good machine. We are starting it, my friend from the green space, we are starting it in an electric engine. In a very nice way to reach the desired destination, which is ensuring that employers have the right skilled people and collectively our economy can grow. So thank you so much, everyone, for what you have done in this process, and may the good Lord bless you. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Douglas Opio, for your wonderful remarks. What I picked and what should be our slogan is, the better the guides, the better the experience of tourists. The better the experience, the more tourists come in. More tourists coming in means more money in the pocket or more money in the nation. And that means improved standards of living for all of us. So I wish all of us to take this very seriously and to promote it. Thank you very much. There's been a slight change in our program as we await a representative from PSFU. Let us now get remarks from the Belgian Embassy, which is a very serious partner in this work. And we are blessed to have Mr. Luke Person, the Deputy Head of Cooperation, Embassy of Belgium. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, I greet you all. I'm really delighted to be part of this important event, and I bring you regards and best wishes from the Embassy of Belgium in Uganda. As you may know, both Uganda and Belgium have adopted the Agenda 2030 of the United Nations, which is a plan of action for people, planet, and prosperity. It is a commitment to achieving sustainable development in its three dimensions: economic, social, and environmental, leaving no one behind. The Sustainable Development Goals constitute the core of the 2030 Agenda and envision, among others, a world with no poverty, a world with a quality education, and a decent work for all. The Belgian cooperation strives to attain these goals, including here in Uganda. That's why Belgium has had partnership with the Uganda government for over 2 decades, focusing especially on education, including skills development, and health, and with a mainstream attention on environment, human rights, and gender. In its programs, Belgium also tries to take advantage of the full potential of the technologies so that digitalization can contribute to development. The current governmental bilateral program of Belgium in Uganda, which has been extended and now spans the period 2015-2023, amounts to more than 76 million euros, of which 22 million are allocated to the support to the Skilling Uganda strategy, that is SSU. So in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Sports, the Belgian Development Agency, ENABLE, implements this SSU program, which is aligned with government strategies like the National Development Plans, especially NDP 2, as well as the Skilling Uganda strategy and now the TVET policy. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are gathered to celebrate an important step of the SSU program, the certification of the trainers and assessors for tourist guides, and the launch of the assessment process. This is indeed very important for Uganda. Tourism is already a crucial sector for the Ugandan economy, and such a beautiful country has the potential to attract much more tourists from all over the world, as well as Ugandans willing to discover or rediscover the treasures of their homeland. But when they travel, tourists have high expectations. This requires to provide tourist guides with the knowledge and skills to manage these expectations. Tourists don't just need customer care, but an excellent customer experience, which is largely dependent on the tour guide. And we have just heard that if a tourist is satisfied with the services, he or she will probably return and also recommend others. Skilled workers in the field of tourism will therefore generate more income and create good jobs for Ugandan young people, which is what we ultimately want to achieve. So with this program, we indeed aim to contribute to a flexible system that will respond to the needs of the labor market, the beneficiaries, the firms, and the society, and that will lead to improved livelihoods of communities. So ladies and gentlemen, the multifaceted approach of the Support to Skilling Uganda program, with both national level input in policy and field testing of TVET reforms, is designed to achieve sustainable results. Now we have a TVET policy, and the government is working on a TVET law. A next important step will be the creation of the TVET Council that would include the informal sector. Please let me thank our partners in skilling, that is Ireland, the European Union, and GIZ, for working with Enable in Karamoja and Northern Uganda regions. This collaboration demonstrates the trust these partners have in Enable's capabilities. The synergies we build with these partners extend our impact in changing lives of people, especially the marginalized population like the poor, the refugees, and the host communities. To conclude, I wish to congratulate those who were trained as assessors and trainers. Quality training and assessment builds confidence among the employers and allows the graduates to meet the requirements of the jobs they are trained to do. Thanks to your effort, it will be possible to change the system of training and assessment and to strengthen the quality of tourism services in Uganda. I also want to congratulate the Tourism and Hospitality Sector Skills Council and the industry experts, the tourist guides, for taking the lead in developing curriculum which addresses the needs of the subsector. I also want to acknowledge the role of the Ministry of Education and Sports and of the Directorate of Industrial Training in facilitating the process. So let me thank you again for giving me this opportunity to address this gathering, which I'm convinced is an important milestone towards the success of the Support to Skilling Uganda program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Deputy Head of Cooperation at the Belgian Embassy, for your kind remarks. What I pick from your speech is that our tour guides must improve the customer experience of all the tourists that come into the country, and this will enable them either to return or to tell others about our beautiful Pearl of Africa. So our job is well cut out as assessors and trainers to ensure that the tour guides that we train and assess are really up to the quality that is needed in the sector. Thank you very much. At this moment, I would like to invite a very, very important lady who is wearing different shoes. I think three pairs of shoes. Ms. Rosemary Kobutaji, she's going to come and give us her remarks, but also give us remarks on behalf of the PS as well as the minister. I believe that everything is going to be combined. I will not call you again and again. So you come here and address us in all those capacities. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam, for that introduction. We missed the introduction at the beginning, and I'll just repeat, I wish I could have known everybody here in the room, but I will reach out to you during the breaks. I'm Rosemary Kobutaji Twinomujisha, Acting Director for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, and also standing in for the Permanent Secretary and the Honorable Minister Tom Butime for the Ministry of Tourism. I'm delighted and humbled to be here to witness this. At a personal level, I began the journey of skilling Uganda in 2011. And the original team here is actually me and Ham Rukare. So, Ham, this is an achievement for us to see that the activation has been actually achieved. And later, Mr. Herbert Bierhanga joined us. Madam, allow me to just give a few remarks wearing my hat of Director Tourism. The representatives of the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, my colleagues, and UTB from the government, I recognize your presence. The Deputy Head, Belgium Technical Cooperation, the representative of GIZ, the Deputy Director, DIT, and the Executive Director, Federation of Uganda Employers, management of Enable, which is responsible for us being here to witness this grand achievement. And the president of UTA, stroke Tourism Sector Skills Council, and the executive director of UHOA. Now, from the policy perspective, government, how do we bounce back after this COVID recovery? In a few weeks' time, the economy is open for business as usual. There are a few things that we have been putting together in place, and I thought I should communicate them. Our bouncing back brings us onto the competition platform. Our competition is the African continent. That is how we view it from the government side. We have the same products, mostly on this continent. So how do we differentiate ourselves? The only way to win this market for tourists is to tell and present our story differently. And we will do this by qualified, competent tourism service handlers. And I am so pleased that today we are going to pass out the first batch of the tourist guides that have been trained that will offer this internationally competitive service that is much required to win the game of tourism on the continent. This unveiling of the newly trained guides is timely to complement other efforts of the tourism recovery that include the launching of the new face of Uganda through Brand Uganda program. It will happen towards the end of this month in a few days' time. I think we are having a launch in Kololo very soon. It complements the efforts of the apprenticeship programs under the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development with support from ILO, already mentioned by the Commissioner, my colleague, and by Madame Jean Byamjisha from UA. It also complements the programs under the Domestic Tourism Drive, codenamed Tulambule here in Uganda, and the regional tourism activations in the East African region under the Tembea Nyumbani campaign. We are also developing standards at the ESC level and UN, WTO, and AU levels on establishing standards for accommodation establishments, tour operators, tour guides and driver guides, and site guides, and gastronomy establishments. So, these documents we are producing even here, home, domestically, live documents. They are living documents that will be upgraded and improved with time as the marketplace changes. We are also, as government, packaging information for travel across the country, supporting our domestic tourism campaign. And we have developed tour maps and services guides. And they are available on all our websites, both for the private sector trade associations and also our ministry outlets and UTB and UWA, so that you are able to access this information and travel. The festive season is here, and we want to encourage you to explore the beauty of this country. Lastly, we are completing the Center of Excellence for Tourism and Hospitality Training in Jinja. It will enhance the skills. I hear you. I hear your outcry on pushing out graduates that are just knowledge-based but are lacking skills. We are going to change this. And I challenge the private sector here. Government cannot do everything. That is why we are here in partnership, in collaboration, holding hands together with our development partners, supporting us to move this industry forward. I implore you, please, collect the revenue or the levy for training and product development for the sector as government organizes and comes along. What do we say? We are government-led and guided, but we are private sector driven. What does it mean to drive? Get your hands dirty, get the job doing, and I'm very glad we have Herbert Biaruhanga steering UTA, and this is one of the assignments I am giving you, sitting here and standing here as the Director of Tourism. Now, raise to the occasion. Now, let me go to the statement that my minister had prepared to address to you and communicate to it. Allow me to read it out to you. The Embassy of the Kingdom of Belgium, representatives of the Ministry of Education, Sports, management of Enable Uganda, heads of other government departments and agencies, development partners, the chairperson, Tourism and Hospitality Sector Skills Council, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen here today. I relay greetings and apologies from the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, who could not be with us today because of equally other important engagements. First, I thank you for the invitation to officiate at the inauguration of the tourist guide trainers and assessors and the launch of the assessment for tourist guides. I thank you all, distinguished guests, for accepting to be with us today as we celebrate this milestone in the sector. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda is rich with abundant natural resources, and a major thrust of the NDP3 is how to harness and sustainably use the country's natural resources. Tourism is at the heart of the government of Uganda. The sector generates more than 7% of the GDP and is one of the largest contributors to Uganda's economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the sector in the recent years continues to attract young men and women into employment and supports diversified livelihoods. Uganda's Vision 2040 identifies tourism as one of the strategic opportunities that need to be harnessed for socio-economic transformation. We see many informal employment in hotels, our tour companies, transport, and the rest. Even in the informal sector, there has been diversified livelihoods supported by tourism. Many young people and women entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs or employed in various small businesses like restaurants, street food service, craft making, and many others. In a largely informal economy like Uganda's case, we have to support our young people to attain their goals through product development, financial literacy, skilling and retooling them to enhance their competencies and productivity, as well as improve work readiness skills. This is important as we strive and focus to promote Uganda's brand name, the Pearl of Africa. Skills of our people must be developed to support excellent service in the sector so as to strengthen our regional and international competitiveness. The government of Uganda is devoted to support all initiatives aimed at building the capacity of our young people into productive ventures. The initiatives like the Youth Livelihoods Program and Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Program, Green Jobs under the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, and Presidential Initiative on Wealth and Job Creation, MYOGA, the Presidential Initiative on Skilling the Girl Child, and others are aimed at serving this purpose. I am therefore happy that our friends and partners, Belgium, Ireland, European Union, Germany, UNDP, MasterCard Foundation, World Bank, and others are investing in skilling Ugandans. For example, with the required skills supply in tourism, Uganda has the potential to position itself as a good value destination that offers outstanding wildlife, adventure, and cultural experiences that attract more tourists. Government recognizes and highly appreciates your support in skilling, and as a sector, we are happy that tourism is one of your priority sectors that you have endeavored to support. I want to congratulate the Tourism Skills Sector Council, Ministry of Education and Sports, through Directorate of Industrial Training upon this achievement. In the same vein, I congratulate the tour guides who completed training as assessors and trainers. Go and do a good job. I know we are also launching the assessment of the tourist guides. I encourage everyone to embrace the program, which will improve the quality of service delivery and increase our client satisfaction. In a special way, I want to thank Enable and partners, Irish government and Belgium, for this support. We also appreciate your immense support in the wider skilling arena, supporting systems strengthening at national level, support to tourism and hospitality sector skills council, funding short-term trainings and target support to selected vocational training institutions in Albertine and Rwenzori and Karamoja regions. This is very much appreciated. I am informed that the Millennium Business School in Hoima is one of the beneficiary institutions and has since changed shape. Thank you very much for making this happen. I applaud the Ministry of Education and Sports for providing leadership in the skilling process, and my ministry, Tourism, and affiliate institutions for great collaborations. Finally, I want to assure everyone that the government is more committed than ever before in creating employment for young people and increasing incomes at the household level and skilling is an assured way of achieving this. Thank you, and I wish you safety in these challenging times of COVID-19 for God and my country. This is from Honorable Tom Butime, Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rosemary Kobtaji Twinomugisha, for delivering such a wonderful speech, giving us the commitment of the ministry in this sector, and for telling us good news that the Center of Excellency in Tourism Training is about to be complete. At this moment, I would like my team handling the inauguration section of this event to quickly set up. Due to COVID restrictions and SOPs, we are not going to give a certificate to each and every one because we would not like to have that much interaction. So we are just going to give a select number of the people so that they can represent everyone else. So the team with the certificates, I would like you to come closer. So let me invite the Deputy Head of Corporation at the Embassy of Belgium and also our guest of honor to come and hand over these certificates to those that have undergone the vigorous training in assessing as well as training tour guides. Mr. Byaruhanga Herbert, you'll be the one reading out the names of those that are being awarded.
Like we have said, just a few to stop the possible spread. The representatives here will take certificates here, then others will come and pick yours from the office, which is just very close. You know where to pick them from. I will, of course, give each one of you to give out one, so that we become more organized. This is Mr. Cato Garciano. He's from the region of Kigezi. Former headmaster of a secondary school, now one of the best guides in the country, very well respected. Very good. I'll give you the next one, then you will give one. The next one is Mr. Loktai Brian from Karamoja. You give it to him. You will give a guard. No, you give him, yes. Loktai Brian is one of the best guides in Karamoja. We picked him and he went through a vigorous assessment, and so far he's our only pillar in that whole region. Then we have Ms. Nankunda Adrin. One of those leading ladies in the assessment. Then we have, let me first read. Okay. Those who are trainers. Now the assessors, I have Mr. Jonika Mjisha. And Mr. Taisa Brian Asawa. Thank you very much for this great job. The rest will come to the office and pick your certificates so that you're able to complete this. Hand it over back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this. We are almost coming to the end of our program. I'm very glad that we salvaged some time in there. And the next on the program now is to launch the assessment system, and we shall do this by signing on this board to show commitment that we are really very committed to what we have put in place and that we are going to execute it seriously. I hope we have the markers with which to sign. And first of all, the chief guest is going to put her commitment on this board on behalf of government, that government is going to ensure that these standards and guidelines that we've put in place are going to be followed. Then we shall have the representative from the Embassy of Belgium, also committing that development partners so as representatives from other development partners, please also be coming up before I give the microphone to the government representative here. Ministry of Education, you'll also be coming. The Tourism Association, you're also going to sign, as well as the Association of the Tour Guides.
I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities to put affirmation here on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Honorable Tom Butime, that government is committed to supporting skilling Uganda, the tourism sector, and that we shall enforce and ensure these systems that we have put in place will be implemented and maintained. Thank you.
The Deputy Head of Cooperation kindly assure us that the development partners are in this with government. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Johnny, as the chairperson of the Uganda Safari Guide Association, kindly append your signature to ensure that your people are going to deliver according to the standards to put Uganda on the map, on the world map. May I invite the Federation of Uganda Employers Association, ED, to come and also assure us that they are also committed to these standards. The chairperson of the Sector Skills Council for Tourism and Hospitality, kindly come and tell us how you are going to bite whoever doesn't fulfill these standards. Certainly the Hotel Owners Association, you must assure us that you're going to give us the training opportunities, much as we break the eggs once in a while, but please give us the opportunity to work with you and get the hands-on training. I will not forget to call upon the DIT that squeezed our trainers and assessors vigorously to ensure that they really got what was supposed to be given to them, and to ensure that they really understood the message. Please continue to assess these people, much as you've already assessed them now. Continue following them up to ensure that they are doing a great job. Finally, let me have someone from the Uganda Tourism Board to come and also put their commitment to what we have done here today. The chairperson of the tourism operators, Otto, kindly come and append your signature. The representative from Otto, since you are the employers of these tour guides, please tell them that we want to put Uganda on the world map and maintain it there. Kindly come and give us your commitment. After him, we shall have Enable, which has been lauded as a key partner in this, to also come and assure us that they will continue supporting the Skilling Uganda strategy and the TVET policy. May I also, yes, Mr. Bart Horemans, kindly come and assure us that Enable is going to continue supporting the Skilling Uganda strategy. We have a representative from GIZ. Okay, any other development partner that is around, kindly come and append your signature to ensure that this is a collaborative effort and Okay. I'm informed that others have just stepped out briefly, but thank you very much, everyone, for showing your commitment to this. And it's no longer business as usual, because now the policy is being implemented, everything is being implemented. We are no longer going to have dusty, good policies, but we are now going to have action. We are now action-oriented. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you very much, our chief guest. Thank you very much, everyone who has participated in this. Our event is almost coming to the end. We are going to have some press briefing and interviews accordingly. But also, before we depart, I would like to take our, I don't know where we can take a group photo, but in our masks, so that we can remember this momentous day. So can we come at the front, the camera people? The camera people, can you guide us where to stand? But I think here at the front would be ideal. Let us all come in our masks and have one last group photo, since we have made history. Our lunch is going to be served in the Palm Gardens, and I believe everyone has got a coupon. Members, you are standing between your lunch. Let us come up and take the group photo as quickly as possible. I'd like to invite the chief guest. Members, it seems you don't want to be in the picture, so let me join the assessors and the trainers.
I am very sure.